I think Will Borthick has joined us again on the Sweet Tea Bakery hotline. Will, are you there?
I'm here, Coach. I apologize for that. We had some technical difficulty, we'll call it. How about that?
All right. Well,
look like you'd be jumping a fence.
To penalize you, I want you to turn up your radio real loud, real quick. All right, there you go. You have effectively been slapped on the back of the hand. Will, you were probably still down in Bradley County. You had Riverdale tonight. Your thoughts on a Riverdale team that looked like they could score a lot but couldn't stop the score?
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what happened. I mean, turnovers were extremely costly to the Warriors tonight. They had 4 of them, 1 pick in the first half, 3 fumbles. I think 1 right before halftime and 2 more in the second half, 1 in the final minute. The Warriors were down by 18 about halfway through the third quarter, so actually made a valiant, comeback effort. And had a couple drives there in the fourth quarter. One even that got to about the 25-yard line of the Bears, but just never could make that one play that seemed to get them over the top. Right before half, Mariko Odom fumbles a kickoff return after Bradley had just taken the lead. One play later, a double wide receiver pass gives the Bears another touchdown, so they go up by 8, and then they get the ball to start the third quarter. They scored again. So it was just like 3 touchdowns in a row for the Bears. Riverdale just had no answer for the spread offense of the Bears tonight.
The Bears.
Hey, Will, it's Josh Peterson. The 39-35, I think Riverdale scored the last, and it never really came into play because they never got down to score again, but they had a shot, and did they end up going for 2 at that point? I was a little bit curious as to that decision when they got to that 39-35 point.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Josh. That's exactly what they did. They basically got down 35-39, had an opportunity to kick a PAT to cut it to a field goal with, I think, around 9 minutes left. And what happened, they actually had 12 men on the field, so they ended up having to burn their last time out in order to not take a penalty. I mean, if it was me, I think I would have just ate the penalty. Their kicker was booming them through all night. I mean, it wasn't like he was shaky on the extra points, but Adelide decides to come out of the timeout and go for 2, and Mariko Odom takes a direct snap up the middle. It gets stuffed. I agree with you. I mean, I don't see the benefit in going for 2 there. I mean, I guess if you get the 2 and you get the ball again, a field goal wins it for you. But I think at that point, with you being down 18, trying to make a comeback, trying to get some momentum, and you end up, kind of stalling out your own drive there. I mean, it was not a decision that I agree with. There's also something that I didn't ask Coach Adelot about after the game. It slipped my mind. There's a lot going on. I was trying to meet deadlines, so I didn't ask him about it. But I would say it was a point where he just felt like his guys, could get it done. They were running the ball really well, but it was not a smart decision.
That burnt timeout hurt, didn't it? With 4 minutes to play, they ended up having to go. They ended up having to go for it. You could have probably punted that away if you've got a timeout or 2 in your pocket, can't you? But they ended up having to go for it on 4th and 14, came up about a foot short.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I mean, if they hold that timeout there, you take the penalty, you don't call the timeout, you can definitely afford to punt it and pin Bradley back at deep in the end zone. And quite honestly, the 4th down play, Mariko Odom, it was another fumble. I didn't see how the fumble happened, but he picked it up. And quite honestly, I think Riverdale might have gotten hosed on a spot there. Of course, I'm way up in the press box. It's hard to tell, but the change came out. It was about 6 inches short. And then, I think they stopped him again, and then Bradley punted, and there was about a minute left before the final fumble. But Riverdale is just, this is not your daddy's Riverdale team. I mean, they're not as talented as teams of the past, and Coach Adelot, I think he knows that. They ran it really well tonight, but unfortunately, just too many costly turnovers ends up, putting the final nail in the coffin for the Warriors.
All right, Will. Good luck on your safe travels. You coming back to Manchester tonight?
I will be back in Manchester. I'll be in the New Union area, hopefully in an hour and 15 minutes, maybe. We're hoping. I may speed just a hair on the way home.
I kind of doubt that. All right, we'll talk to you soon. Thanks a lot, Will.
All right, thanks, guys.
Will Borthick of the Daily News Journal.